Hey there, Michael Griffiths here, founder of Referral Marketing Guru, and welcome to this week's Get More Referrals Today podcast. Today, I want to talk to you about, I suppose, the right way to ask. I've been giving this a little bit of thought over the last few weeks, and it started with a question I asked a couple of weeks ago. Why don't you bother cold emailing or cold calling or knocking on doors? And it's a really good question because obviously it's one way to go and find clients. And over the past 12 months, you've probably seen, just like I have, how many people just send cold emails, just send direct messages to your Instagram, to your Facebook, to your LinkedIn, saying, hey, this is what I do. Do you need help? And either you do or you don't. So it got me thinking, and it got me going, well, hold on, let's look at these big brands. So wherever you are in the world, you've probably got a McDonald's, you've probably got a phone company, you've probably got a bank. Now, they've got millions and millions and millions of dollars to be able to spend on, they call it marketing. To me, really, it's branding. That it's getting their name out there. And when their ad comes up, if you happen to have that pain point, if you feel that whatever they're saying is going to make your life better, then you take action. And in essence, that's sort of what marketing really is about, isn't it? It's about getting exposure in front of the right sort of people who, when they look at what you're saying, then go, will this make my life better? And if the answer is yes, they'll do something about it. If the answer is no, they ignore you. And when you think about it like that, you've got to start going, are you, A, getting enough exposure? And B, are you saying the right sorts of things when you do get exposure? So I want to be able to share with you today a couple of thoughts and a couple of ways that I'll go about, being able to, I suppose, do the second bit. Once you get exposure, that's great, but what do you do next? And you can just keep sort of knocking, hoping that somebody does something, or you can try to be a little bit more strategic about it. And that's what I want to take you through right here. Before we dive into it, as always, if it's the first time you're joining us, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcast platform. Get More Referrals Today. Join us on YouTube every single week. We're helping you be able to grow your business, get more referrals, keep your clients for longer, become more profitable, and really create that business that you want that's going to make the impact for other people. So if we dive into this today, marketing is such a big topic. And to me, marketing is not, do you use Google pay-per-click, or do you use Facebook ads, or do you do SEO, or do you do social media posts, or do you do videos, or do you do webinars, or they're in essence little vehicles that might help you get exposure. But it's a bigger question you've got to start asking yourself to actually go, what am I doing with my marketing? Why do I even have marketing? Well, the bottom line is marketing is there to get you exposure in front of people who have the pain point that you solve and are looking for a solution. It's about getting people to be able to have conversations with you. That's really what marketing's about. So when you think about it, you just have to simply go, what do I need to do that's going to allow people who have the pain point that I solve, who maybe are looking for a solution to make their life better, to get into conversations with me. So then we can explore whether we can make their life better or not. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. So think about the things you're doing with your marketing right now. Is it achieving that end outcome? Getting people who have the pain point you solve into conversations with you so you can see whether you can actually help them or not. So the answer there is either yes, what I'm doing is doing that, or no, it's not doing that, and you need a different strategy. So when you think about it from that way, it sort of makes sense why, let me just take, for example, a big phone company here in Australia. And probably, I reckon at least 100 times a day, I would hear their ads. It's the same ads. It's the same tune. It's the same jingle. And in the end, all they're looking for are the people who have the problem that they could help solve. They're just looking for people who they can get into conversations with. Now, that's not me. So therefore, I ignore the ad. but I'm aware of it. That's what big businesses can do because they've got the money to be able to do that. As small businesses, we can't do that. Every single dollar is precious. So we need to be more diligent and I suppose smarter and more strategic in what we do. So when you think about coming back to the start, cold emails, door knocking, like that's very time consuming. But it's about being able to build an audience and then ask that audience if there's something you can do to help them. Let's unpack that a little bit. I talk all the time to our guys in Partnership Club about you've got to be able to build an audience. Who's your ideal type of client? So do you work with a particular demographic? Do you do a particular thing? And if that's the case, then it's about getting those sorts of people in and around you. So where do you get them in and around you? You get them onto your CRM, your customer relationship management system. You get them around your social media platforms so that you follow them, they follow you, you're connected, they're connected. They're the two main places where you can build an audience. So building an audience means you have a name, you have an email, maybe you have a phone number, you have a way to be able to communicate with them. If you don't have a way to communicate with them, they're not part of your audience. If they don't have the pain point that you solve, then really, they're probably not part of your audience. If they're not your demographic or your ideal type of client, then they shouldn't be in your audience. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build up this audience of people who are your ideal client that have the pain point that you solve. So the best way to be able to do that is through some sort of attraction tool. We have our 112 guide. Anyone can go get that, www.100in12.com. Now, the only people who are going to get that 100 referrals in the next 12 months are the people who want referrals. They're our ideal type of person. If someone doesn't want more referrals, not a problem. They just aren't in our audience. Because what we talk about is how to grow a business through referrals, how to be able to keep your clients for longer, how to be able to increase the lifetime value of your clients, how to be able to make your business more remarkable so you have walking, talking, ranting, raving billboards. See, that's our way to be able to help a business become more profitable. So if someone's not interested in doing it that way, that's okay, but they shouldn't be in our audience because they're not the type of person for us to get into a conversation with to be able to see how we can help them. On the flip side, anyone who goes, yeah, that's the way I want to be able to grow my business, perfect. They are in our audience. So through some sort of attraction tool, you need to firstly build your audience. Then the second thing you need to be able to do is to be able to, as I say, ask through offering value. Now, most people offer value, but they offer value in terms of content or in terms of a video. They don't actually do the thing which would really help them, which is actually asking, hey, is there anything I can do to help you? So there's a couple of different things that could play out here. I'm just going to sort of give you the playbook to how I would do it. Okay? You can bring people into your audience that you might have met at networking events. You might have met offline. You might have met on social media. You might have met through one of the various Zoom groups that you go to where everyone gets to meet each other. Now, you don't know if those people have the pain point, but at least they're now part of your world. So the next thing to do is to simply ask them, hey, I've got this thing. Would you like a copy? Hey, I've got this guide to help you get more referrals. Is it something you'd like a copy of? If they say yes, now they're part of your audience because they've just identified themselves as having the pain point or having an interest in the thing that you can help them with. If they say no, you know they're not part of your audience. So as you start seeing a couple of different circles, you've got the first circle out here, which I just simply call they're part of your world. Right? So I have lots of people, and let's just take probably the most obvious one, mum. Mum's part of my world. Okay? Is she interested in being able to grow her business by referrals? No, because she doesn't have a business. She's retired and she's having a lovely life without having to worry about working. So she's in my world, but she's not in the next circle, my audience. See the difference? You've got lots of people in your world, but they don't become part of your audience unless they have the pain point you solve and it's actually of interest to them to solve it. That might not mean they want to solve it right away. It might not mean they want you to solve it. But it means that it is a pain point and a priority somewhere to solve it. Now, how do you get someone from your world to your audience? We have to offer them something which actually tells you they've got that pain point, or they see that pain point as something they want to solve, or they're interested in finding a solution to that. So anyone who comes into my world, if I simply said to them, hey, I've got this great guide, how to get 100 referrals in the next 12 months, would you like a copy? Anyone that says no, fine. They just stay over there in my world. I know them, but they're not someone I need to be in conversations with about being able to help their business. Anyone that says yes moves from that circle into my audience circle, because now I know a little bit more information about them. I know they've got a business that I could help. I know that getting referrals is something that's important to them. Otherwise, why would they bother getting the guide? I know that this is a person I can now get into conversations with. I don't know whether I can help them or not. I don't know whether they're going to be a client or not, but I'm not worried about that part yet. What I've been able to do is take them from the world circle to the audience circle. So you've got to constantly simply have a way to ask. I have this thing. Would you like a copy? Otherwise, you've got no clue. And it's one of the biggest mistakes that most people make, especially across their social platforms, is assuming everyone that's on there actually has the pain point that you solve and actually wants a solution. You'd be surprised. It's probably no more than 5% of people on your socials actually have the pain point and want a solution, and the rest don't. So as soon as you start assuming that they all do, that's now when you start doing that knock, 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 and it gets annoying, and eventually they just go, see ya, I'm gone. Okay? So now let's say that in your audience, you've been able to work out they're the right sort of person for you. They've got the pain point. They're looking for different solutions because they've got your things. So now from there, we've got to go, hey, are you willing to get into a conversation? You're in my world circle. You're in my audience circle. Now I need to bring you to my conversation circle, because some people aren't ready. Like, it can sometimes take me years from an idea, oh, that would be nice to do it, before I'm actually ready to do it. Other times it can take me hours. Right? It just depends on how big a pain point it is that people are trying to solve. So to get them from the audience circle to the conversation circle, you need another ask. See, each of these circles, you get linked from going from one circle to the next by a simple ask. And if you're not great at asking, but instead you're great at just telling, you're not going to get anywhere near as many people. Like, do you like to be told what to do? No one does. It's a human trait. If it's our idea, we're going to move on it so much faster versus if you're told what to do. So become great at asking. Become great at moving people from one circle to the next circle. Become great at focusing on your marketing to get into conversations rather than simply tell people that you can help them. You get 2 different emails. One is from somebody who says, I see that your website doesn't have this. I can help do it. Email 1, telling you. How does that make you feel? Email 2, we can start off the same way. I see your website. I went onto your website and found this to be a problem. Would you like a simple video on how to fix it? Would you like a simple guide? Would you like a simple checklist? Which one are you likely to respond to? One, you're being told. The second, you're being asked. You're being invited into a conversation. Marketing is about conversations. Because if you're not in conversations, then you can't create conversions. Hopefully that's super helpful and useful. Think about what you do with your marketing and how you're focusing on bringing the right people into your world, into your audience, and into conversations. And the more you do that, the faster you also get to grow your business. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you've got anyone who you think that would find this helpful and useful, share with them the link. Okay? The more people that we get to help with their marketing, the more people who get to help with their business, the more impact that we get to make and make society a better place also. Till next time, if you've got any questions, anything you want assistance with, reach out, support@michaelgriffiths.com.au. Otherwise, we'll catch you next week. Take care all.